But whether it's a small solar lantern or whether it's one of these huge solar fields, the basic science in the solar cells are quite similar. There's different technologies. We're in an amazing time because the number of laboratories around the world competing for whether it's going to be the typical blue, the crystalline ones, there's thin film, there's organic cells, there's all kinds of technologies that are coming online. They're commercial now and that are coming up. So the cells do their thing. It's actually what Einstein won his Nobel Prize for quite a long time ago, 1909. And that's fairly similar. The feature which is different, though, is what's called the balance of system. And you pay more for the other half of it if it's on your small rooftop because you've got more of the hardware, on your own building. You pay less per watt if it's got big systems, but there are some huge advantages, and everyone highlighted different aspects of them. Small systems are near where you're using the power. You don't have the transmission issues. Big systems, you can get some scale of operation. But it's really in the non-solar cell part of the story. And so when you heard that there's not only programs that are incentivizing big utility scale systems, and in California we use the so-called renewable portfolio standards, sort of a requirement for a certain amount of our power to come from renewables, including solar, to what many people, including myself, think is maybe the most exciting new innovation policy-wise. We'll come to financing in a bit. The idea of these feed-in tariffs championed in Europe. And that's really giving a much more diverse set of suppliers long-term fixed contracts. All of those features affect the economics of solar in California much more than the basic cell. So, figure of merit, 20% of the energy coming into a solar panel, on average, comes out as electricity. There are some that are somewhat higher. The highest, in the lab, fancy companies, SpectraVision and others competing for the most efficient cells, 40%, but they're not in commercial operation. I work also in East Africa where we have cells that are much less efficient, 10%, but they're really inexpensive. And so there's a huge range. And what's exciting now is that mix of science, that mix of different financing models, and if we can collectively get our act together about enabling solar through the policies, through the transmission that's needed, through the regulation that's often a big issue, that gigawatt scale that we're at now could actually grow by another factor of 10. So it's a huge open world, and it's much more in California, which has great sun, a function of what we enable, not the basic science. The science is there, they work really well, we need to grow it if we want to benefit from it.